to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
Distant lover, so many miles away. Heaven knows that I long for you. Every night, and sometimes I yearn through the day. Distant lover,
Man, just when you think Al Green is pulling away, Marvin Gaye said, distant lover. Distant love. Boy, who you got in my verses? Al Green or Marvin? Man. Just when you thought Al Green, that was that Tyson Fury sit-up after getting knocked down. Whoa. Jeez. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to The Voice of Reason. We have an amazing conversation. A lot of people calling in from all over the country to discuss this most pressing issue. Because we're seeing the world change. We're seeing the world evolve. And when that happens, relationship models start to evolve as well. And we're talking about the traditional model of relationships, which is rooted in gender roles and responsibilities, versus what they're now labeling as Gen Z's creation, the situationship. Now, I remember cohabitationship. I remember relationship. It's complicated. But the question becomes now, is old-fashioned love simply played out? When the world changes, when technology changes the world, how we interact is also going to change. Right? Listen, that old school, early to bed, early to rise. Always be true to yourself. Never go to bed angry. You can't take your money with you. That should be for both generations. Some people never change. Trust somebody as far as you can throw them. Remember Big Mama? I don't trust nobody as far as I can throw them. Old school. right? Actions speak louder than words. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. If you have two good friends, you're lucky. The old school was deep, right? The old school was deep. But let me tell you, things are starting to change. Remember you used to dress up for your woman and she used to dress up for you? Remember your woman would never let you see her with her hair messed up. Now, I'm not saying this is something that has to happen today, but you remember that? Huh? Remember compliments? Remember home-cooked meals? Still waters run deep. Yes, I remember that. Home-cooked meals. Every night. We not at a restaurant somewhere taking pictures of our plate and posting it on social media. When was the last time you seen just social media home-cooked meals posted? You know, this is what I made for the family and my man, right? When was the last time you seen that? And I'm not saying it's women's fault, so I'm just using that as an example. Right? Respect for each other's personal space. You remember the advent of the cell phone. Now people act weird with their cell phones. Let me put my cell phone face down so you don't see it ring. The ringer is off when I'm in your presence, and then I put it face down so you don't see it ring. Well, back in the day, I remember Big Mama used to say, when Granddaddy get home, don't nobody mess with him. Granddaddy need about an hour. I'm going to give him his food. I'm going to give him the paper. He going to sit back in that room. He going to watch the news or the game or whatever. But don't go bother him until he done settled into the house. That was Big Mama respecting. Well, we didn't have Granddaddy. We had Goldie. My cousin Craig. Craig, remember Goldie? Big Mama's boyfriend. Big Mama had a boyfriend that was older than her, and she was old. His name was Goldie. Sit on the back porch. She made sure he got his plate before we got ours. Talk to me. Is the traditional way done? Or do we have to get used to this newfangled gray area, uncertainty? I don't know what we're doing. Is that all a bad thing? I want to know. The phone lines are on fire. I'm going to go back to my brother, Yogi Fish, because he was cooking. I wanted to reframe the topic so we could understand what we're getting into when we come forward back to New York.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
With KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on in here, Green. Mr. Green. Come on in here, Al. Sing it to her, Al.
I can think of younger days when I lived for my life was everything a man could want to do. I could never see
Okay, I think it's a tie tonight. Al Green and Marvin Gaye. How can you mend a broken heart? The voice of reason is on fire tonight. We got an amazing topic. The phone lines are lit.
Can you stop the rain?
Let me get my brother Yogi Fish in here, man. Yogi Fish.
Hey, Joe.
So you see how I'm framing this topic, right? Do you see how I'm?
Yeah.
Yes. So as a brother, I see you as an elder. So I defer to your knowledge because my experience cannot compare to yours. So.
Oh, yes, it can.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. So I'm so pleased that you're here. Can you continue to expound on these shifting relationship models and how they kind of changed through the generations? Like, talk to me, man. What was it like being with a woman in your time, like at the height of your time, your 30s, your 40s, man, your 50s? Talk to me.
It's very confusing. It's very confusing because the world, like when you talk about traditions, they're shaped by the social norms, so if your social norms are full of war, you're going to be closer as a family. If your social norms are surrounded by drug problems and crimes, you're going to be, very tense all the time. Your relationship's not going to be able to relax because you're surrounded by the potential of harm to your family. So you're going to be an aggressive type man in that relationship. So there's a lot of things that go on. So I was in the military at a certain point, so that affects relationships. The social environment that we as Black people go through shapes those relationships type things. So it's a lot of things. But in my 30s, it was confusing because we were at that bridge of, hey, we're black, we can do better, and we're getting opportunities. And that bridge between, hey, here's how we are as black people versus the shift, some people didn't want to hold on to how we did things one way, and they want to move into the new world of things, and those relationships start falling apart like that.
So how did technology affect your relationship? Was it impacted when technology started to boom? Did it impact how you interacted with women? Talk to me.
Yeah, it does, because I'm a technology person, so I understood the technology making it. But when people use it, they may, I don't know how to say it, they may think different, but they're not living different. They're just thinking different. And so when you're relating to someone who's thinking different in the environment you're in together, that's very confusing. You know, you're getting exposed to things that you're not experiencing, but you think you are. You know, like today, people feel things based on online activity versus a physical human being they're dealing with. And so they feel emotions from a distance and then try to duplicate that with someone down the street, and it doesn't match up.
Wow.
You know, online you get to talk and say what you want, but you may not be able to do that to the person that's around you. So you're out of sync with the people that you're actually dealing with, type thing. And that's the part about value systems, that you can translate values down generations, but you can't translate the physical environment and the relationship that you're physically in.
Right.
But you can say, hey, you know, the traditions I got of values were you can do anything. You know, don't let anybody tell you what to do or that you can't do something. And that's something that I've held on to that came from each generation of people. You know, especially the men, they were like, hey, son, you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Right.
You know, and they actually did big things. So I could see them doing that. It wasn't just a phrase. So I think the young people today just are missing that little piece of value system, but their lifestyle is basically their own. I can't really tell them what to do with that, but I think they're missing the value system piece that was supposed to be passed down, but maybe got lost along the way.
Man, I love you, brother, man. Thank you for the wisdom, the insight, the perspective.
Great subject.
Thank you, brother. Yogi Fish from New York, man. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know what you got to do. Hit those digits, 1-800-920-1580. Let me get to my brother DeMarco. He's been on the longest. Sorry, DeMarco. Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. Talk to me, brother.
Hey, what's going on, man? Man, just really wanted to say, I think we're all looking for the same thing. And then, you know, although, I mean, just like transportation, you know, if we're still trying to get from point A to point B, you know, it could be planes this decade or this century, you know, trains and automobiles this century, and horse and carriage another century. But we're all looking for the same thing.
And what generation do you represent, brother?
Man, I was born in the '80s, so I'm right in between. You know, I technically I'm part of the newer generation, but I'm still part of the generation that didn't really care for computers too much, even though I'm in IT right now. But you know,
wow, that's heavy. What would that? I think he would be. He was born in '80, so what's that? A millennial? That's not a Gen Xer. That's an Xer, buddy. Yeah, you're an Xer. Yeah. You're tail end of the Xers going into, what is that? Millennials. Yeah, you're like in the middle of, you're like an X-Men millennial. Right in that little.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. Let me just say, when you call in and we talk about these kind of subjects, my question to you is, when you date a woman, are you trying to be a traditional man, or are you more in alignment with the gray area that situationships bring and are cool with? Do you leave it flowy and open? Do you need a title? Or are you more traditional, say, if we're going to do this and I'm going to be down for you, I'm going to lock it down for you, this is what it's going to be? Talk to me.
No, I'm a gray area person all the way. At work, personal life, you know, everything. Nothing needs to really be defined because we all know what it is. But just operate into more so focused on who I am and who you are, and then we'll figure out the rest. Doesn't necessarily have to be a title. Could be a title, but doesn't necessarily have to be.
All right. It sound good to me. Hey, the gray areas are starting to call in. Hey, DeMarco, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for hanging on the line. Las Vegas is in the building because of you. We appreciate you, brother. Call in anytime.
All right, thanks, family.
Hey, but that was interesting what he said. That was interesting. I'm a gray area kind of dude. Technology has pushed us into this space because of options. Listen, man, technology made the world small, right? I remember there was a time, boy, some of the most beautiful women in the world came out of Pasadena, California. Before the internet was around. Beautiful women at all, man, just beautiful women. Jeez. But then came MySpace. Was MySpace the first social media? What was before MySpace? Black Planet. Boy, I was never on Black Planet. I think I caught on to Black Planet late, and I never really got on. The first social media that I got on was MySpace.
Actually, to be technical, was the chat rooms.
That's what they just said. Yahoo chat room.
Yep, Yahoo chat room, AOL chat rooms, all that.
Heru Ali said, Jet Magazine Beauty of the Week. But once those platforms started to take off, it made our world expand or contract even. I mean, he started meeting people from all over the world. Beautiful women, beautiful people from all over the world. Somebody said party line, AOL chat. Sister in the chat room said I was all over Yahoo chat rooms, then moved on to others. So again, MySpace was the first for me. When I got on MySpace, I was like, what in the entire hell is going on? Then Facebook took it to another level. So I feel like options and access, it grays things up a little bit. Whereas if you're from a small town and that's all you know, you try to find the best little woman you can find in that area. And that's just from a male's perspective. Lord have mercy, I can't even imagine the inundation that women are experiencing in their DMs. Ladies, can you call me and tell me if y'all hired a personal assistant to just go through your DMs? Because I know it's bananas. 1-800-920-1580. Phone lines are still cracking. Let's get everybody in here right now. Cali Soul, Denver, Colorado. Talk to us.
Peace, family.
Tell me, are you old school or are you new school when it comes to relationship models?
I'm right in between. I'm the gray area. So I'm a Gen X millennial. I was born in 81. And I think the main thing is like the shift in media. And our parents, you know, in Gen X, they didn't really allow us to be raised by media. And there wasn't as much media options as there are today. But still, within that, we were watching shows like The Cosby Show, The Jeffersons, Good Times. And even those families were nuanced and they had their difficulties and their successes. We got to witness that. We got to witness them go through adversities together and push through. So, like, the generation right behind us was the millennials and Gen Z and all of that. Like, they're watching social media and reality TV. And we all know who creates that junk and what their agenda is like to break up the Black family. And if people are sitting there watching that stuff, and that's the microwave generation, like the microwaves first came out in like my generation, we was like, whoa, microwaves. We didn't even have one in the house for a few years. I remember us like begging my mother to get a microwave, you know, and then finally one made its way into the house. But like before that, we were eating home cooked meals. And even like the folks of us that were latchkey kids, mom would like prep up the food, you know, the night before. And it's like, hey, when you get home from school, you put that meatloaf in the oven, you know, turn on the, you know, like she had to give us the basics because we were an essential part of how the family moved as well. We were held to a standard of that. You know, we had to watch after our younger siblings, and that was normal. So we had more responsibilities. So therefore, like fast forward to today, to our relationships, some folks are willing to put in a little bit more work because we were raised putting in work. We didn't have no choice.
This is interesting.
Whereas, like,
this is interesting because you're cooking right now, and I really want you to open up a little bit about, would you accept a traditional man and the gender role that he has expectations for? Like, you're his woman, he expects you to, you know, bend the knee, so to speak. Would you take a traditional man? Now, you said you were the gray area, but would you take a traditional man?
I would absolutely take a traditional man. And when I say I'm in the gray area, I don't necessarily need a label. Like, I'm here to learn whatever I'm supposed to learn from you and give whatever I'm supposed to give to you. So you might not be my life partner, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to enjoy each other and grow together, you know, so why not dive in? And I think a lot of people are afraid to dive in because they're like, yo, if this ain't my life partner, if this ain't my husband, then I'm wasting my time. And that's not true, because we've got to learn, we've got to grow, we've got to evolve. And like I said, for me before, I had to have a starter marriage because I didn't grow up seeing a healthy relationship within my home.
Do you know you just scared all the men that have a traditional mindset? Because what you basically said was, I'm not, it's not guaranteed that I'm going to be there.
But so, like, people got to get off of that.
But people are afraid. People are afraid.
Yeah.
Most relationships are fear-based.
Absolutely.
Did you hear the definition I read for traditional relationships?
No.
The definition in and of itself, I said, here's the caveat for that. Here's the definition of a traditional relationships. You tell, I ain't gonna give up nothing. I'm gonna let you tell me what it is. Traditional relationships are defined as relationships in which partners fulfill roles based upon their gender and stereotypical role expectations. That's the definition of traditional relationship. Gender roles.
I don't. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I think women are to do what women are to do. Women are to bring what we bring to the table, and men are to do what they do and bring what they bring to the table. That's how you coexist in a relationship.
Cali Soul, stay with me. When we come forward, we going back to Denver because we cooking right now. The ladies are calling. It's getting heated. We got a lot to talk about.
What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? Yeah. How can a loser ever win?
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Airports across the U.S. are jammed today. Officials warn this year's Thanksgiving travel season will be the third largest for travel in the last 20 years. The White House is extending the student loan repayment pause. President Biden said in a video posted on Twitter that he's confident in his student debt relief plan, despite Republican officials trying to block it. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona is pushing the pause to June 30th instead of the start of the new year. Donations to a charitable fund that will be distributed to victims of a mass shooting in Colorado Springs have topped $245,000. The Colorado Healing Fund has set aside a portion of its website to take donations that will go to the families of those killed as well as the survivors. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The holiday holiday season is here, and if peace and quiet is at the top of your wish list, you'll love Casper's selection of mattresses. Save up to $800 online or at a participating store near you. Exclusions apply. See casper.com/promo.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory. Yeah, man.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as Chief Executive of the City of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Leaving things half done? Not a good option. Like a half-baked peach cobbler.
A gummy crust? I don't think so.
A half-done hairdo.
All done.
Shouldn't the curls be on both sides?
Or a half of a domino.
Bam! Big 6!
But where's the other half?
Don't go halfway, especially with your immunity to COVID-19. Keep everyone safer this season by staying up to date with your vaccines and boosters. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find one near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for human rights. The Los Angeles Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department, or LA Civil Rights for short, is focused on reducing bias and injustices while leveling the playing field. LA Civil Rights does this through equity and empowerment, the Office of Racial Equity, hate prevention, upward mobility programming, and youth programming. They convene commissions and advisory councils. The Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department of the City of Los Angeles is led by founding executive director Capri Maddox and is breaking new ground for municipal governance. LA Civil Rights oversees citywide initiatives, including the Renew program, LA Repair program, and the LA for All campaign. The LA Civil Rights Department believes that the goals of equity and inclusion for all people can be achieved through hard work and collective action. To get involved and be part of the solution, report a civil rights violation, or get more information, visit civilandhumanrights.lacity.org. That's civilandhumanrights.lacity.org, or call 213-978-1845. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father,
man,
we don't need to escalate.
Brother Marvin.
You see, war is not the answer.
My playlist is my co-host. Beautiful playlist tonight, man. Callie Soul from Denver was making her final thoughts. Yeah, go on, sing with him. Yeah. Marvin and Al Green, Lord have mercy, man. What is going? Okay, so wrap it up for us. Tell us which is the best model, or is your model the best model for relationships? Talk to me.
I can't say my model is the best model for relationships because I'm still learning, even at this age. What's that saying? Everybody was having fun until the rabbit got the gun.
Oh, Lord.
I remember the brother Jadena was, really pubbing hard for polygamy and all of this stuff until he got his heart broken. And then he realized, no, I do actually want to be in a monogamous relationship. So I said that to say I can't say that I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I absolutely do want to be in a monogamous relationship. However, I know that my path, my road to get there, I can let go of my idea of what that looks like. So that's why I say I don't need a label in a, whatever I experience today in dating, because as we move along, we learn things and we grow. And that's what we're here for. And people have to learn how to let go of their fear and that idea that just because somebody is with you, they belong to you and they become one of your possessions, because that's just not the truth. And that mentality is what makes people want to run the other way. So you got to be willing to extend freedom, appreciation, truth, sincerity. Those are the characteristics of love. It don't matter what ship you want to put on it. Friendship, relationship, whatever ship you get into, you'd better have love. And love is freedom, appreciation, truth, sincerity.
Come on. Sweetheart, I appreciate every time you call in. You bring a whole different, it's like a little rainforest when she calls in. It's like one of them little humidifiers. It just gets misty up in here. We appreciate your wisdom, sister. Thank you so much. Thank you. You want to bring your city in the building? All you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. JT, Atlanta, Georgia. Get in here, Jade.
Oh, shit. Hold on, because I know I'm not supposed to be no Bluetooth, no headset. Hold on, real quick.
You calling from work? What happened?
I know. No, I'm saying, because I know when you call in, you're not supposed to be on Bluetooth or headset. So I just took my headset off.
That's right.
First of all, I just want to say hey to the chat. I love everybody. Happy Thanksgiving and holidays that are getting ready to come up. I hope everyone enjoys their time.
Yes.
But like I said in the chat, I would love to have a relationship like my grandparents did. But unfortunately, we live in a different time of relationships and how people think. And also who people think they are. Because you got some people out here who think that they're high value, but they're really not.
Talk to me. Come on.
But I guess I just wanted to say, for me, I know, with me dating and talking to different gentlemen, I do try to tell them what it is that I expect out of a relationship. Mm-hmm. And it kind of does sound a little bit more traditional, but, I don't mind to take my boyfriend out to eat and pay. I don't mind to buy him gifts. I don't mind to like spoil him and do things for him. So I mean, it'll have like a modern twist on it. But I mean, your relationship is your relationship. If you wanted to have traditional, like a traditional aspect to it, then go ahead and do it. But if you want to have like, you know, a different or a newer spin on it, I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. But you just have to find whatever's going to work for your relationship. You can't let this outside world stuff. Oh, sorry, I lost my breath. You can't let this outside world stuff determine or dictate your happiness or how you want your relationship to go. You and that person need to sit down, have a grown-up conversation, and work towards the things that you're looking for. I love you guys. Have a great day. I got to get back to work. Bye.
They calling in from work, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to join the discussion, no judgment. We are having an open forum discussion. Traditional relationships versus what they're calling situationships. What are we doing? What are we doing? I remember back in there. What are we doing? Where is this thing going? Apparently, where's this thing going is in vogue. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. Jump in here and speak on it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, brother.
I'm another ex-man myself. When I was a kid, I don't think I ever really saw a healthy relationship. And the ones that I only saw were quote unquote on TV, and they were scripted that way. It also depends on what a person is going to consider traditional, because some people think marriage is traditional. Some people also think that having wedlock babies is traditional, because I was one of them. Never really saw in my immediate family what a traditional relationship was. My parents didn't get married until later on in life. I was like a teenager when they finally decided to get married. Saw a lot of broken. My old man came from a broken home. My mom came from a broken home where her siblings had different fathers. So it's always a learning process. Some people trying to go by a script and say my woman has to be like this or my man has to be like that. We're all going through life still learning. You're going to come across different people with different backgrounds and experiences. And to try to force your way onto them without really learning where they came from, that's just going to end in disaster, in my opinion. Best thing for me, because I'm still learning, I'm still taking what I can use from past experiences and trying to build. And I'm going to come across people who may not necessarily agree with what I think is cool, and vice versa, and that's okay. I'm just going to, if we work together, cool. If it reaches this point, I'm cool with that too. I'm not really stressing about it.
Wow. I love the honesty, the transparency. I appreciate you, brother. And as always, man, thank you for hanging on the line and holding on and waiting until I could get you in there, man. I appreciate you, brother. Call in any time. You already know it.
Yes, sir.
So let me get right down to it. It don't matter how you define your relationships. Situationship or traditional relationship. I pointed out the flaw in both. Right? Can I say something right quick? You tell me if this makes sense. The quality of your spirit determines the success of your relationship. What you've overcome internally, the work you've put in to build yourself up, to redefine yourself from what you've modeled, to separate yourself from what you've modeled, will determine the success rate of your relationships. It doesn't matter what you call it. When you look at marriages, 44% divorce rate. You throw in the 10 to 12% legal separations, we're well over 50%. So that's not a model that's guaranteed to work. Most people, just listen, man. You're in a toxic society. Most people are toxic. So you're going to go into the relationship toxic. So that toxicity is going to, you're going to create a what I call this synergy, this cycle, right? you're going to create a cycle of passing that toxicity to your partner back and forth. You want any relationship model to work, you have to first start with self. Stepdaddy Johnson said, I'm not toxic, Zoe. There's not a person on planet Earth that ain't got something to work on internally. This is why the great Krishnamurti said self-knowledge is never ending. That's right. Septic synergy. Thank you, Book of Ronan. A lot of people, man, it's toxic to even think you're not toxic. There's something wrong with everybody. Everybody has challenges. Maybe you don't like the word toxic, but everybody got challenges. And the more challenges you defeat, you overcome within yourself, the higher the quality of your spirit. The higher the quality of your spirit, the higher the quality of the relationship you magnetize into your sphere. Listen, man, the weakness of the traditional relationship, it's gender role based. It said nothing about how to overcome you. It said nothing about how to deal with the inner enemy within you. Doesn't say nothing about it. That's why I said that is the Achilles heel of the traditional model. Because it says as long as I fulfill my gender role, then the relationship gets to continue to roll. And that's what our grandparents stayed in. That's why Big Mama and Big Daddy stayed in 2 separate rooms. In them little twin beds. Right? Big Daddy paid the bills. Big Mama cooked the meals. But they slept in 2 separate rooms. Couldn't stand each other. The traditional model doesn't allow for healing. Or at least it doesn't articulate it. Now, I'm going to say this. The quality of your spirit determines the success rate of your relationship. So you got good-spirited people, regardless of what's going on in the world, these people are going to be in love with each other because their spirit's right. Do you understand? They're not judging. They're not condemning. They're empathetic. They're pouring into themselves and they're pouring into their partner. They're making space for self and they're making space for spouses. But a lot of people aren't doing that. I keep telling everybody who tunes into the show, the basic fundamental purpose of relationship is to discover what's wrong with you. When I come forward, Zoe Williams is going to keep cooking.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Tweets with racial slurs have soared since Elon Musk took over Twitter. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Only a week after the Tesla CEO bought Twitter, reports of the racial epithet used to attack black people was reportedly used 26,000 times, tripling its average this year. And a slur used to target trans people increased by 53%. Instances of offensive terms for homosexual men soared 39% over the yearly average. Examples of offensive terms used to target both Jews and Hispanic people also increase. This all according to research done by the Center for Countering Digital Hate. KBLA listeners, what do you think about Elon Musk, the man who describes himself as a free speech absolutist, taking over Twitter? Let us know by tweeting us at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Congratulations to this week's KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week, Community Legal Aid SoCal, Advocates for Justice in Orange and Los Angeles counties. Congratulations, Community Legal Aid SoCal.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that when we fight, we win. Community Coalition trains activists and organizers in order to support power building with Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color. Community Coalition works to help transform the social and economic conditions in South LA that foster addiction, crime, violence, and poverty by building a community institution that involves thousands in creating, influencing, and changing public policy. Founded by Karen Bass in 1990, Community Coalition was born as an African American and Latino organization with the goal of turning hopelessness and despair into action. The activism of the Community Coalition's members and community residents has almost solely stimulated economic recovery in South LA for decades, generating billions of dollars by redirecting them to South LA schools and foster care. In addition, Community Coalition offers amazing mind, body, soul resources, advocacy, and policy work, and has a robust and active membership body. To become a member, get a referral, or get support for your nonprofit, visit cocosouthla.org. That's cocosouthla.org, or call 323-750-9087. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
My playlist is out of control tonight. My goodness, man. I thought it was gonna be much. I thought Marvin Gaye was gonna blow him out the water, but boy, Al is hotter than grits right now. Lord have mercy. So let's get back to it. Traditional relationship versus Gen Z situationships. For months, I've been holding back from letting the talking points go from my current book, the book that I'm writing right now. I really didn't want to, get into the talking points. I didn't want to reveal the narrative. So I've been struggling to keep it in. And, I've been talking around it, so to speak. But I hinted to it in, or a prelude to my new work, can be found in my 2019 release, The Holographic Relationship, when I talk about relationship uncertainty. And I use Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. That principle says that two aspects of a particle that's being observed cannot be known simultaneously. Meaning, if I want to know the location of an electron, I can know that. But I can't know the location as well as the momentum. I have to choose. If I want to know the momentum, I can find out the momentum. But I can't know the location. If I want to know the location, I can find out the location, but I can't find the momentum. That's the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And the way my mind works, I said, well, science, especially physics, deals with the physical world, nature. I also believe that the uncertainty principle is embedded in intimate relationships. We think that if we create expectations and standards and beliefs and principles, that we'll be able to create this box we can live in safely. But two works in progress are also unknown to works in progress are also uncertain as to who and what they are. Maybe the Gen Zs got that by embracing a gray area, or what Heisenberg would call an uncertainty space. What I recognize with the traditional love, man, we stuck with each other. That's what I saw. People stuck with each other even though they were toxic. That's what you get when you just focus on roles. But the roles was based on the family. The family is a business. Dad went out, got his money, paid for everything, brought home the bacon, she cooked it up. But the world is different now. And those old norms are starting to shift. But let me tell you how to throw all of that away. The great Krishnamurti says, love comes into being when the mind is naturally quiet. Big Daddy couldn't be quiet because the world was attacking him. When he came home, his woman made peace for him. The world attacked him when he was out. He was in the world, so the world attacked him. It's hard to find love when you haven't conquered yourself, right? But when you can play a role, you can just hide. Krishnamurti, love comes into being when the mind is naturally quiet, not made quiet. When it sees false as false and true as true. When the mind is quiet, then whatever happens is the action of love. It is not the action of knowledge. Knowledge is mere experience, and experience is not love. Experience cannot know love. Love comes into being when we understand the total process of ourselves. And the understanding of ourselves is the beginning of wisdom. Most people are exceedingly unwise when they go into a relationship. You are unwise to think that somebody will make you happy. You are unwise to create standards, beliefs, and principles and rules and strategies for some work in progress to fit into seamlessly. You are unwise. You are unwise. Love is something totally new every day. It is not a routine. It is not a gender role. Love is something totally new every day, but pleasure is not. Pleasure has continuity. Love is always new, and therefore it is its own eternity. Jiddu Krishnamurti. You want a real relationship with self? You're going to have to conquer. Or you want a real relationship with someone else? You're going to have to conquer self. Maybe the Gen Zers are starting to understand a few things. Well, I started the conversation. I'm probably 97% wrong about everything I said. Woo, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for Danny Morrison and, of course, Robin Ayers. They're going to keep it cooking. The fire has been lit. I'll see y'all tomorrow, but that'll be it for the rest of the week.
Together, loving you times are good and bad, happy or sad.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Airports across the U.S. are jammed today. Officials warn this year's Thanksgiving